I do love taking pictures. I have a lot more to learn. I think everybody always has a lot more to learn with this hobby, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. Welcome back to my channel where I am busy documenting life in my 20s. Today I am excited to film a little video about one of my favorite topics right now and probably for the foreseeable future. Something that it has been a hobby of mine for honestly a really long time, but within more recent years, I've been starting to get a little bit more into it, a little more knowledgeable about the topic, and that is photography. Today, I'm gonna show you every single one of the cameras that I own and include examples of footage shot straight from those cameras in different scenarios, talk through some of my favorite things about them, some of the things that I don't like as much about them. This isn't really gonna be a full-on review video per se, because I have honestly a couple of more like random items too, but I want to show you my camera collection and what I have at this point in time, including what I'm shooting on right now. So I'm excited to talk a little bit more about this. I'm definitely by no means an expert. Like, there's so much to learn with photography always. I feel like no matter how long you are in the photography field, whether you do it for funsies, just a hobby, or you are a super beginner, you've done it for 500 years, I feel like there's always something to learn. I started getting a little bit more into photography and learning more about cameras and taking pictures because I had to do it for my job. I don't know if you guys know this, but this YouTube channel has technically been up since like 2017 or something. It's definitely been up for 5 years, and I used to post content on it 500 years ago. Some of that content you can't find anymore because it's on private. Some of it is still on the internet web, and you can go watch it in my older videos. Not that I'm promoting that. I've always been semi-familiar with cameras. I would film my earlier YouTube videos on a little Canon camera that my mom used to take pictures of us for family vacations, and that was kind of my first time using like a quote real camera. Now the cameras on our iPhones and smartphones and things like that are pretty good. And I feel like each of these cameras that I'm about to show you are good in certain situations, depending on what you're looking for. So I don't know, maybe this video might be helpful if you are interested in learning more about some of these devices that I'm about to talk about. I just wanted to show you kind of the different things that I like to shoot content on. I'll say in my real job, I have used the Canon R5, which I do not own myself. It's way too freaking expensive. It's a really awesome camera though. So if you are like wanting to get into wedding photography, doing it professionally for your job, highly recommend the R5. I wish that I had that camera, so maybe I can work up to that at some point in time, but I feel like by the time I would be able to afford that, it would be obsolete. So it's fine. It's a very expensive camera, and the lenses that you need for it are also like, that's really where the money comes from. So anyways, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start by talking about the camera that I'm shooting on right now. I just mentioned the Canon R5, but a camera that is kind of the baby version of that, the very beginner entry-level version of the R5 is the R10. The most recent line of Canon cameras uses a different type of lens mount, which I believe is the RF lens mount, and the old ones were called the EF lenses. So I hope I'm not mixing those up. This most recent line of digital Canon cameras uses the RF lenses. So that's what I have on right now. I just have like the 16mm, I don't really remember the rest of it, lens right now, and it is compatible with my R10. I use my R10 when I am going on trips or I just want to take nice photos, because the lenses I have on this, I mean, they're not $1,000 by any means, but they're fine. So I'll show you what I have, and I'll input footage throughout this video on top of me talking and stuff probably of different shots using these different cameras. As you can see, I'm filming 30 frames per second on the R10 right now. This is my favorite lens. It is a 50mm lens, also the RF mount, so it's going to be able to go onto my camera and could technically go onto the R5 or the R6 or the R8. Like you can see really quickly that they just kind of like make the numbers go down, and the lower the number is, the more advanced the camera is. I don't know if there's an R1, I don't remember. For sure there's an R3, and that one's even better than the R5, which is saying something, but the R3 is also like really big and really heavy because there's a lot going on in that camera. The R10 that I have is lightweight. I take it a lot of places. I love it very much. I will upgrade at some point in the future, but for now this fits exactly what I need with filming YouTube videos. It also crops videos vertically, which is super helpful for if you make YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or TikToks or whatever, of which I do. So that's important to me, that it automatically turns the footage vertical when you are uploading it off of the SD card into like an editing platform like Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve or whatever you use, Premiere Pro. The other lens that I have for this camera is a 18 to 150 millimeters. It's a little bit longer, but it's still pretty lightweight. This one is fine. Well, I mean, obviously it's a zoom lens, so you can zoom, which is important. The other ones that I have, they are not zoom lenses, they are fixed lenses, so you can't do anything about that. The 50 millimeter is really good for portrait photography, so I really love it for that. The 16 millimeter that is on the camera right now is great for filming videos like this or vlogging, and you can hold the camera a decent distance away from you and it's not gonna like be way up in your face, versus if I try to record a selfie video on this camera using my 50 millimeter lens, it's literally gonna go like right up here and it's gonna look stupid. So like I said, I love my R10. I highly recommend it for anybody who is interested in really getting started with photography. Something that's interesting about it that I appreciate, especially like when you're trying to learn the lay of the land with these Canon cameras and figuring out what the different settings are, shutter speed, aperture, all that stuff that can be really overwhelming right off the bat, is that this camera kind of gives you tips and tricks as you're like choosing different settings and looking at the filters that it lets you use. So that's kind of nice. Like it shows you when you're clicking around the camera, it kind of gives you a little brief description of what each thing is. So that's the Canon EOS R10. Highly recommend. I love this camera and it does exactly what I need it to do. The downsides of it is that sometimes I'll be filming a video and for some reason the screen just like goes black and it's still filming the video, but like I can't touch the screen and I can't pick the options. I think it's just like a glitchy thing with this camera because the system isn't as advanced as the R5 or other versions. So I don't know if that's something that happens with other people's cameras, but I have noticed that that happens with mine. It can be annoying occasionally, but it doesn't really happen that often, and when it does, it's kind of random. So I wonder if that's the system overheating or something, but whatever. This is my lovely Canon EOS R10. Up close and personal, kind of. It's on its tripod right now. I literally got this tripod from Amazon for like $20 or something, but this is what the camera looks like. Here, I can do this and I can like see myself on the camera, which is super helpful when I'm filming stuff, doing direct-to-camera video, just like this one was. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I love this thing. It's wonderful. I highly recommend. The next camera that I want to talk about is the PowerShot. Wait, what is this called? The next camera that I want to show you is the Canon G7X Mark II. You have probably heard of this camera. It is probably the most popular vlog camera on the market right now, or it definitely was very recently and has been for a little while now. I actually got this camera literally in 2018, so it's 2025 now. You do the math. I've had this for a long time. I've had it for so long that there's a crack on the screen, and that's just because I dropped it on the ground. Actually, like when I first got it, within the first couple weeks, I was so sad. My mom got me this camera as a graduation gift from high school so I could use it to vlog my college experience, and then I did a dorm tour, which was actually my first upload on YouTube, and now it has like 27,000 views, which like in retrospect isn't a ton, but it is the most that's on my channel right now. My mom was onto something. That was her idea too, so shout out to her. This little camera is wonderful if you are just starting out with vlogging. It is pricey, especially because it's so popular right now. The prices have definitely gone up since I bought it. I don't fully remember what it was when I bought it. What's nice about it is it has the little like flippy camera thing. The whole purpose is that you can take it and vlog, and it's as easy as that. I will say this camera is a little bit bulkier to carry around. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light. There is a good amount of cool features built into this, especially for it having come out a couple years ago, and I know digital cameras are all the rage right now, but this is great. I never really touch the settings, honestly. It's just a great point and shoot camera. It has pretty good image stabilization as well, so I appreciate that because my hands are always kind of like automatically pretty shaky. I'll say that all Canon products don't do super well in low light situations, so say you're vlogging at night, like it's gonna turn out super grainy. That's just kind of, I mean, it's a lot of cameras, but especially these ones, so I don't know. I do really like this camera. I bring it around to a lot of different things, especially when my Canon R10 is just a little bit too big and bulky to carry around depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. So yes, I do really like this. I have a case on it right now. You can see it's like this little plastic cheapy thing. So it's not actually white, it's black underneath. So I don't know if that matters to anyone, but I do have a little case on. It also has a built-in flash. Let's see if I, ooh, yeah. The flash on this camera is actually really great. If you're using this camera to vlog or take selfies, then honestly, it's really awesome and I do highly recommend. So yeah, I like this product. I don't know that it's worth like the $1,000 or whatever that it's going for nowadays. I mean, it was pricey when I bought it, but it's just super popular right now, so everybody wants it. I mean, within good reason, I suppose. Hello, this is footage straight off of the Canon G7X Mark II with the help of a ring light because the spot that I was sitting in just got engulfed completely by sunlight. So this is what it looks like. Yep, I love this camera, it's great. Next up is the Canon PowerShot V10. This is the camera that I probably got the most recently, at least the digital camera that I acquired the most recently. I got this back in the summer of 2024, so I've not had it for a full year yet. It is adorable. It's another little vlogging camera and it's portable and so cute. And I actually have an unboxing video and a review video, a couple YouTube shorts about this as well, but the full like horizontal upload is on my channel already. So I'll link that in the description box below if you want to get an in-depth video about that. But you flip the screen up, you use it to vlog like this. It also has a little kickstand thing that you can like set it on tabletops and stuff and then vlog that way. You can put the screen down and then vlog what's in front of you. There are honestly very few settings on this. The image stabilization is fine. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I mean, this is a very cost-effective vlogging option. Just better quality in some cases than like, I don't know, using your phone. I really like the look of video that is clearly from a camera. I just don't love vlogging on my iPhone unless I have to. The pro of this tiny little pocket-sized vlog camera that it's supposed to stay out of sight. It's supposed to be compact, it's supposed to be small, it's supposed to fit in your pocket. So I really do like that aspect of this. I think when you take it in public and you're vlogging with this camera versus my bigger one, like it's very clear when you have this that you are taking a video. Like it's very clear that it's a camera and that you're doing something creative. This is not as clear. I think when I take it out in public, I kind of like, it's the spotlight effect, right? It's like you're thinking that people are paying attention to you when they're really not. But it's like you pull out this weird looking thing that people haven't really ever seen before and it's like, what is that person doing? Like in the grocery store, what is that device? It's inconspicuous, but it's still kind of like a shape that you've never really seen before. So it's just kind of like feels embarrassing to use it sometimes, even though it shouldn't be. And that's just a me thing. But yes, I do really like it. The biggest con with this device is that it does really bad on sunny days. And Austin, Texas is pretty sunny. That's where I live. That is an issue that I have run into where I've been vlogging it on like super sunny days, and speaking of the sun, it's literally coming out right now and ruining my video because there's nothing covering the lens. I don't remember the exact term for that, but all of the light really easily gets into the camera. So it's great when you're using it indoors or on cloudy days, but if you are doing it, like bringing it to the beach and it's full on sunlight in Florida, then good luck. It's not gonna perform that well and there's gonna be a lot of like light flares. So I was really disappointed when I found that out after I bought it, but that's fine. But I still would recommend it. I do really like it. And like I said, I like the look of content that looks like it's been captured on a real camera and not just an iPhone. Personal preference, but that's okay. And this is footage straight off of my Canon PowerShot V10. I do have image stabilization mode on, shooting at 30 frames per second. I also really like this camera. I like the look of it. Like I said, Just doesn't always work when it's super crazy sunny outside, but I do really like this device. The next couple cameras that I want to show you are more for funsies, starting with this little one that I bought on TikTok Shop back when I had a job where I was allowed to have TikTok on my phone. Literally just like the cheapest little throwaway digital camera that you've ever seen. It is so janky. Like, this thing is, I think it was $20, and it definitely is probably worth even less than that. But it was literally so popular when I bought it like a year ago that it was trending on Amazon, and it was more expensive on Amazon than it was on TikTok. I bought it. It's cute. It's pink. It definitely works for getting those vintage vibes. I took this for fun on New Year's Eve, the New Year's Eve celebration that was in Austin, and I actually really liked the content that I got from it, so I'll include clips of that. I actually really liked the look of it. It definitely looks like it was from like the 90s or something like that, on just like a little cheap throwaway camera or whatever, camcorder vibes. So you can take pictures on it. They're gonna turn out like garbage, but like if you want that vibe, if you want the photos to be really like yellow looking, like it's a thing. It's trendy right now. I recommend it for that. I can see if it's still on Amazon and tag it in the description box. But funny little one that I wanted to talk about, because technically it's a camera. So speaking of it's just a camera, I have this little thing that I've done some YouTube shorts on before. It is a little cheap film camera from Target. It's the Heyday brand. I actually don't know that they sell this exact model anymore. They sell a version of this that actually already comes with a roll of film. This one, the whole idea was that you like load the film yourself and get the shots, and you can reuse it if you want. I've only used it one time. I might think of using it again. And like I said, it is very cheap. Like, it feels so fake and plasticky. I'll include some of the images that I got on this little Heyday film camera. It was also my first time ever using film, like truly. Some of the pictures that I got were actually really awesome, but most of them were garbage and light leaks and the whole thing. So it's fine. I wouldn't recommend it, but it was fun. I think if you were to get a throwaway film camera, just get like the Fujifilm ones that you can get from the grocery store and just use that and call it a day. Another camera that I have is a little Polaroid, and as you can see, I have a certain color scheme for a lot of things. I'm really into the like sage green color right now. I know this is a little bit more mint, but that's fine. I've not used this very many times, but I just got it for my birthday. John, my boyfriend, got it for me for a birthday gift. I opened that in like this past December, so it's still really new. I haven't used it very many times. I'll include some pictures of the Polaroids that I took on it. I feel like everybody knows what these are. Like, it's the classic little Polaroid camera that everybody wants and loves, and I'm really happy that I finally got one. It's the Instax Mini 12, and it came in a little Christmas bundle too, so I got like some other accessories with it, and that included this I mean, it's not very good quality, but like, it's something. It's a little case that it's in right now. And speaking of film, I got a real film camera. I talked about this in one of my recent uploads at the beginning of March, where I took this camera and I went and finished shooting it, and I got the roll of film developed. I included a couple of shots from this camera when I was uploading that video. I'll include more in this one because that's kind of the whole point, but this is the Canon A-1. This thing is heavy. It came out in 1978. This is like a real one. It's a vintage camera. It still works, clearly, because I just shot with it. There's a couple of things that I need to figure out with it. Like, there were quite a few light leaks on some of the pictures. It's got like a little focus. It's just so cool using these, and I know film cameras are super trendy right now, and honestly, I feel like for good reason. It's so impressive that this literally was just the camera that everybody used for decades, or the type of camera, and like developing film rolls. Like, that's just how it was. Film is expensive. Getting it developed is expensive. Buying it is expensive. The camera itself is expensive. If you want to print stuff, that's expensive. Like, all of it. Like, it's not a cheap hobby, but I'm excited to get more into it. I'm gonna take it with me to California at the end of this week, so I'm really excited to use that. So I need to order some rolls of film. This is my reminder to do that soon. But I shot a roll of Portra 400 on my Canon A1, and so I'm gonna try and get a different brand, and I have it on my Amazon cart, but I can't remember what it's called, so I can follow up on that later when I get those photos developed later, hopefully this month. I liked it so far. I mean, It's film, so you never know what you're gonna get, literally, until you get it developed and you actually see it in front of your face and you're like, oh, like, but at that point you can't do a ton to correct it. Like, I still put mine in Lightroom and edited them. It's like, you can try to do what you can, but ultimately, like, what you get is what you get with film cameras. It's a cool hobby to get into. I recommend exploring it. That's definitely what I'm trying to do, which is why I ordered like a fancier kind of camera that does manual settings in addition to automatic settings. I'm gonna figure out how to use manual, and I'm talking to one of my photographer friends who gave honestly really good tips about that. I'm excited to use some of the advice that she gave me. Looking forward to seeing where that hobby takes me in the future. Well, with that, I am gonna go ahead and close out this video. That was my camera collection, so I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. I hope that, I don't know, if you had questions about any of these cameras or have seen any of these devices online, that maybe I was able to answer some of those questions. I'm happy to answer any more that you might have, so drop a comment below if you do have any questions about any of these. I do love photography, and while I am by all means not a professional, I mean, technically I guess I technically am, because I had to do it for my job, but like, I don't know. I'm not like a wedding photographer, so, but I do enjoy taking pictures of my friends. I actually have an Instagram called Natty Please Take More Pics, which I will put a lot of my pictures on, and it's also where I've been kind of cross-posting some of my YouTube shorts and things like that, content from my YouTube channel. So definitely give that page a follow. I have been trying to be a lot more active on it, and if you scroll down further, then you can see some photos I've taken of people in the past. Give me a follow, thanks. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, especially content coming soon. I do love taking pictures. I have a lot more to learn. I think everybody always has a lot more to learn with this hobby, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.